screens and stuff like that, and cameras. And when you were here, it was bare bones. It was literally fucking bare bones.
It was bare bones, and people just came here to chill, drink, talk, listen to stuff, and I don't know, play video games in the background.
Wait, is this a podcast? What are we doing?
I thought it was just dudes chilling, and now it's like I'm looking at this, and wow, there's cameras facing me in both directions.
Yeah.
And you got a guy helping you out on the side with his headphones on, and I'm staring at myself at a screen.
Yeah, it's like legit now. But I'm gonna adjust your camera real quick and just make it because I didn't realize you sit high like that.
Oh yeah, posture, bro.
Yeah, good posture. You get good power. That means you have good core.
I read something about that somewhere.
Right. How you doing, bro? How's
good, dude?
Yeah. Just pull the mic to you. So actually, just slide your chair so you're in the center of the frame there. There you go. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Like this. Okay.
Yeah. How you been doing?
I
feel like the last time we spoke was actually 3 years ago. Yeah, I think we texted each other the last time you were here, trying to set something up. But I think you were in like. No, I caught you right when you left.
Yeah.
So it seemed like you were in family mode and all kinds of developments,
dude,
right?
It's serious, bro. I think the biggest word I was thinking about today is just like progression. Yeah, dude, I have a family now, and during that time, my fiance now, she's first time to Guam, and I have a 2-year-old who was
2 years older.
Dude, bro,
Holy shit.
Yeah, legit. I have a second on the way too.
Oh no,
October 20th, bro.
Or not? No.
I mean, no. I know. No, I feel you. Oh no, but yes, no. And yeah, dude, things have been really good. I mean, obviously, I'm back on Guam for not so good situations, like family. If I'm trying to help my dad out, make sure you take care of his assets. He's getting much older,
right,
and he has dementia.
Okay,
and so he's having a hard time, taking care of himself financially.
So you're holding down the fort. Had to come back and sort of hold down the fort.
Dude, it's not even holding down the fort. My brother and my sister are here, and they're holding down the fort. I'm like coming in as backup and like just trying to relieve them for 5 days. I'm only here for 5 days.
Oh man, short trip.
Super short. I can't do that. I mean, stateside wise, everything's going really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the gym that I started, the Fit Lab.
Right.
We talked about the fitness testing.
Yeah. When you started, you were pretty brand new, right? The last time we talked, you were pretty brand new, just kicked off.
Yeah, bro, we're like 3 months into it.
Right.
Now I'm on my 4th year. Kind of thing. Like we just celebrated our 3rd year on June 1st.
Okay.
And so now we're like entering our 4th year of business.
Right. And so how have you seen everything just progress? At least with the business, what's the biggest progressions that you've experienced? Has it been always sort of an upward, or were you finding yourself in troughs and stuff like that?
I think the lowest I've ever got to know is like pretty much the first 6 months.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't know if this gym is gonna last, kind of thing. Like I don't know like how much longer. Yeah. Like.
Is it because you didn't really like understand business, or okay?
I mean, dude, I was a trainer. I had like about 2 months of experience being a manager at another gym, and then had this opportunity to open up my own facility, and it was in over my head. I know training, right? I know exercising. I know how to help people lose weight, look better, like feel confident, whatever, the basic stuff, eat, make the right food choices.
Yeah.
Business, just like how you're like doing ads and, establishing connections and, trying to direct people, that's a totally different ball game. I mean, like I learned, unfortunately I haven't marketed. And so it's been a real grassroots movement with my facility.
All word of mouth.
It's not even word of mouth. It's actually my business model, at least for the plan for the gym, our focal point was the fitness test, right? Measuring body composition, measuring like these important biomarkers.
Yeah, and you were using those like a dunk tank, right? You're using water tank, kind of like using displacement to figure out.
Yeah, so I was using hydrostatic weighing to measure body composition, and I'm using this little device. It's a metabolic cart to measure resting metabolic rate and VO2. And anyways, like what I realized was that there are a lot of people that are looking for it, right? That are looking for it. So I've never had to market it. And the people that were looking for it,
as in not wanting to go to the gym first and then figure it out.
Yeah.
But they just wanted that. It's almost like a what's that? AutoZone's free diagnostic test, right?
It's very much like it's like this. It's like you going back to your car, like you like something's wrong with it, and you want to fix it yourself because you know that if you go to the mechanic, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so you figure it out, you figure stuff out, but you realize something is off. And then that's when you go to AutoZone to do that diagnostic check, like what exactly is off. And so they give you that free one, and then, you know, they upsell you, you know, whatever parts or service you need in order to make it happen. So
your oxygenator.
Yeah, something like that, man. Something like that.
I don't know cars at all, dude.
But yeah, as far as the progression of the gym goes, I mean, I think the biggest thing that has happened since then is understanding that there's more to being a fitness trainer. There's more to being a fitness trainer. Like, dude, I'm doing research now in collaboration with San Marcos State University. Like,
wow.
Like, yeah, like funded research. Like, I'm doing studies. Like, I submitted my hypothesis to this organization saying like, and
wait, this is just sort of a whim of a thing that you just say like, all right, I got an hypothesis.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's submitted to the schools.
It's more to it than that, but it was basically like, you know, like so the study that I'm doing right now, it's currently ongoing, and when I get back, we'll be completing our last phase of study. It's measuring body composition on outrigger athletes. And so my hypothesis in this was why, or not even the hypothesis. The question is if outrigger paddling is such a physically demanding sport, and people who are participated in a season long, right? It's about 9 months, right? A season long season. Why aren't they losing weight? You know, there's a lot. I mean, like outrigger it's a little niche sport in California, let alone the US, but there's a lot of participants. I mean, we're talking about like tens of thousands of people that are participating, and you come across groups.
It is physically demanding.
Yeah, I mean, you're a paddler, right?
I paddled for I don't want to call myself a paddler. Paddlers would be like, you're not a paddler.
Yeah.
I paddled for maybe about 6-7 months, and then I kind of had to like focus my attention on some other stuff. But yeah, man, physically demanding. You're hitting a wall within the first 10 minutes, and
it's aerobic, anaerobic. You interact the thresholds. It's like not just endurance sport, but it's a strength sport. I mean, like the amount of force needed to propel your weight, the canoe, through the friction of water.
Right.
It requires amount of force, and so work. Right. That's basically what it comes down to, is work. And so, if these athletes basically train 3 times a week and have a race like every other week, and are putting about 9 to 12 hours of physical time, you know, per week, why aren't they losing weight? And so my hypothesis was the reason why an athlete, right, regardless if they're professional, amateur or recreational, why they aren't losing weight is because the physical demands of the sport is like it increases, right? And it peaks. Right. So it continues to become harder and harder and harder.
So the peak is constantly peaking?
Yeah. I mean, like you're getting stronger, you're getting fitter. And so therefore you're putting more output.
Right.
Right. And so my hypothesis in this study is with the increased demand of physical activity, most athletes tend to have a linear nutrition plan. So in their head, they're kind of like, because I'm working out so hard, I don't have to focus on my nutrition. I can eat whatever I want. Oh, well, I mean, yes, that's one part, right? That's going to be something that I need to address in the concluding statements. But it's more so like, let me backtrack.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So there's a correlation between body composition and increase and decrease of performance, right? There's a lot of studies out there that shows when an athlete starts to have their body fat percentage increase, right? So it goes higher throughout a season. They actually start to decrease in performance, or they start to get injured. There's a lot of studies that show this, right? And so my hypothesis this...
Can you say that just one more time?
Okay. So anytime, sports is physically demanding.
Right.
Right. When you think about athletes, you think about 12% body fat percentage, like very lean athletes.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. A lot of athletes actually tend to increase their body fat percentage as they start to get to the end of their season. Does that make sense? So they actually get fatter.
Okay.
Is it? You catch me there? It's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. You would think that they don't, but athletes do tend to get fat. It has a lot to do with stress, right? Exercise is a stress-inducing activity, right? Like we put stress upon our body, and so when we constantly add stress onto it, and the body's unable to recover, or to get the adequate amount of nutrition in demand in relation to the activity, they actually start to get fatter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and so the correlation is when their body fat percentage actually starts to go higher, chances are they're starting to get the symptoms of overtraining. And when you get the symptoms of overtraining,
injury,
you get injured.
Right.
Yeah, so therefore a decrease in performance.
Right.
Right. And so that was my hypothesis for this particular paddle study, is like the athletes that do this sport, the reason why they tend to get fatter is because they're overtraining, and that's because their nutrition is not on par with the amount of activity that they're doing.
So what is the ideal nutrition to put yourself into? I mean, are you looking at a keto diet, or you're looking at more keto, right? It's more fats and putting what you want to burn, or are you looking for a more carb loaded diet? Yeah. Because it seems like when you're going to push yourself through that sort of endurance sport, you would think, I want to carb up so I have energy to burn. But it does make sense that people would get fatter because, you're carb loading for endurance sports pretty much. So you're only utilizing and burning it within an hour.
So you've hit a very loaded gun question.
Okay.
Like the issue is there's no specific answer to that question. There's really none. And we know this through genetic testings, how different bodies excel better in different types of diets, right? Or macro percentages, right?
Okay.
Like keto is high fat, low carb.
Right.
Some people excel in high carb, low fat. It's really personally dependent. What I'm focusing on is more total calories. Total calories, and it falls along the basic lines of calories in, calories out, or thermogenesis. And it just comes down to
so that's more focusing on macros then.
Yeah, but it's more on the total caloric content
of the.
So macros is the percentage breakdown of the total calorie count, so that caloric content.
Okay.
Yeah. So does that make
I guess what is the Okay. Yeah, what's the difference between what you're saying, a total caloric content, and then macros?
So total caloric content is basically macros are a breakdown of the total caloric content, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have 1,000 calories, what is your macro percentage of it? Like keto is typically 75%, or the ideal keto is 75% fats.
Okay.
10 to 15% protein, and then 5% or below carbs.
Okay.
So stuff like that. So I'm focusing more on total caloric content. And the reason why I'm saying this is because total caloric expenditure in outrigger paddling is extremely high.
What are you looking at? What are the numbers?
So I don't know yet. This is
what you guys are testing.
Yeah, this is what we're testing.
Shit. Okay,
and so we're gathering data on it. It's a pilot study. And the reason why I was able to get the research, it wasn't necessarily for paddle performance, but it's more so the correlation between paddling and cultural connection.
Yeah, okay.
It's for instance,
why the genetic makeup of people who grew up maybe in the Pacific Islands and were cultured to paddle.
Yeah, exactly.
Why they sort of excel more.
Yeah,
the Tahitians maybe.
Yeah, it's not just that, but it's more so why do Pacific Islanders tend to have the highest obesity rates in the country? You know what I mean?
Even expanding beyond way more. Okay.
Yeah, so why? So that's really what this study will come down to, and what I want to showcase in this particular study is really the benefits of outrigger paddling. Because we're going to see numbers across the board, and the reason why we're going to see numbers across the board is because no one really knows what's the ideal caloric intake for paddling.
No data.
Yeah, there's no data. There's nothing on it. We have a lot of performance data, like who can do the fastest 500 meters, or what is a person's VO2 max on a certain erg, and stuff like that. But no one's really been doing research on body composition and paddling.
Right. So in the study, are you taking people with different body sizes and putting them through tests?
Well, I mean, ideally we want to say yes, but right now the numbers is the whole purpose of the study is just to get 40 people in who are doing.
So like a random draw then.
Yeah, it's just anyone who's willing to participate. The only criteria we have is one, that they are competing in a season, right, from start to finish. Two, that's really it. As long as they like freaking do their
consistent data.
Yeah, just be a part of the study from start to finish.
So what are they wearing during? Oh, so are the tests applied during the races, or is it more applied on independent on the side?
Yeah,
sort of those machines that you have, right?
Yeah, and this is where the Fit Lab comes into play.
Right,
so we have the Fit Lab has not just the dunk tank, but
can you bring up his what is the paddling machine called?
It's called the Kayak Pro. Oh. Yeah, so Kayak Pro Erg. And so so what we have at the facility is a stand-up paddleboard, outrigger, high-no canoeing, and kayak ergs. You know, like, so you know how you have treadmills, rower machines, and bikes? Yeah. We have those basic same apparatuses.
No way.
Yeah, dude, we have a bunch, bro. No way. And they're expensive, dude. We dropped some money into it, and so what we're doing is we're gathering 4 different data points: body composition. We're doing a questionnaire. We're doing the kayak ergs.
Yeah, go ahead, go to that website, dude. We don't have to watch a video.
Yeah. So you'd probably want to go to products. And yeah, just go kayaking canoe is one. I mean, you just see a bunch of sports in there: dragon boat, outrigger, and so that's a kayak, and that's a high-no canoe. So those are 2 ergs we have at the facility.
Okay.
But the one that we're doing research on, if you go back to products, go to
no stand-up paddleboard there?
There is actually one. Can you go back the previous one and go back to products? So you see there's outrigger, va'a, and then there's stand-up paddleboard. So yeah, do the outrigger and va'a, because that's what we're primarily doing this study on.
Okay.
So what you see right there is basically a replica of what a person would be doing sitting down and paddling. I guess it's a horrible photo. Just really.
Yeah, try and see if you can like zoom in on the picture or something.
There has to be some videos, man.
Yeah.
If you go to paddlesynergy.com, check this out. This is another business venture I've started.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar.
So paddlesynergy.com, and it'll showcase a little intro video. And
can we watch it?
Yeah, it should. It's gonna pop up right now. It should pop up on the main.
And what is Paddle Synergy? Is this sort of involved with the Fit Lab and the research study and stuff like that?
This is actually its own separate entity, and it's actually a group fitness workout that we're developing based around these ergs.
Okay.
So think about like orange.
Oh shit! There's a stand-up.
Yeah. So there's a stand-up, and you can see in the far left the outrigger. So that's basically it. And that the sit-down one is considered outrigger, dragon boat, or canoeing erg. Right. And that's what we're doing the test on, one of the testing points.
That's what I was wondering too. I was like, okay, when you have the rowing machine, right? And then I was like, okay, how do you turn this into a paddle? I mean, into a outrigger canoe. And so, is there an arm that sort of like swivels like this?
So, and this particular device in the Kayak Pro, it actually does. It swivels. You can go left. You can go paddle on the left side and paddle on the right side with ease. If the Concept 2 rowers, there is an adapter to convert into like a stand-up or outrigger, but it only goes one way. And it's a different flywheel. The Concept 2 rowers actually has a chain flywheel. These are bungee cord flywheels. I mean, bungee corded, connected to the flywheels.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a totally different feel, and it actually feels a lot like being on the water.
Really?
I mean, it's not 100%.
Yeah, of course. Right?
But it's pretty damn close, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn close. And so yeah, that's one of the testing point, or the data that we're collecting is through those ergs. And so we actually, what's cool about that software is that the kayak erg or the outrigger erg is connected to a software where we actually can measure power output, distance, speed, heart rate. Like, so we're actually gathering a lot of data points from this particular device.
So what does it mean you're looking for, or as far as the data that you want to ultimately collect? Yeah, you're saying the calories in, calories out, right? But now you're getting all sorts of other data that can sort of make it more well-rounded research?
So the first thing, what we're using with this Kayak Pro Erg is we're seeing if performance improves throughout the season. And so participants do a 500 meter all-out sprint. And so we're able to collect that data point, and we're going to see if it improves or decreases. And then we use a dunk tank to measure body composition. And so we're measuring body composition at 3 time points: beginning, mid, and end.
What's the time frame? Is it the season long?
Yep, season long. So basically, when the season starts, after
hey, can you do me a favor and grab me a napkin? I spilled all over here. Thanks, bro.
Iron Champs, the midpoint of the season and then the end of the season. So yeah, so we're getting three time periods. Yeah, and so I mean,
so it's towards the end of the season then, right?
Towards the end of the season for the last one, this is why I kind of have to go back. I can't stay too long because when I get back Monday, we start the last phase of testing.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Let me just wipe this.
It's okay, bro. I'll take a little break too and drink.
Yeah. Intense though.
Bro,
man,
dude, this all started for like progression, right?
Yeah.
So I went from like opening up a fitness facility, doing a fitness measurements, and now doing research. And then that paddle synergy is like a beta test of, can we develop this into a group workout? Have you ever heard of Orange Theory?
No, never.
So Orange Theory is probably the biggest group exercise franchise in the U.S. And they basically center their workouts around ergs, such as the treadmill, the rower, and other ergs, along with conventional bodyweight exercises.
Okay.
We're kind of taking that concept, but instead of using the rower,
so removing squat racks and bench press.
They don't even use squat racks. They use like dumbbells. They use basic bodyweight exercise. It's interval training. It's considered interval training. But what we're removing is the treadmill. We're removing this bike, and we're replacing it with the stand-up and the outrigger ergs. So ours is very, very paddle focused.
Right.
Paddling focus, and that's what paddle synergy is. It's combining the paddling elements and the conventional exercise elements and putting it into one like very efficient workout.
Yeah, man. With the data that you're collecting, it just hit me. You can build the ultimate outrigger athlete.
Ideally, right?
Ideally.
Yeah,
I mean, with the numbers, right?
Theoretically, it's more theoretical. But yes, theoretically, like basically all we need to do now is 1, get the data, 2, compare it against high profile athletes.
Yeah. Give the data to some nutritionist, maybe. I
mean, there's so many angles. But again, the main purpose of the study is actually to try to correlate it with obesity in the islands. It's like,
it's spam, bro.
Huh?
It's that ration food. Come on.
Dude. And so I mean, dude, there's so, man, I've been in the business now for 4 years, like going on 4 years, and I've studied from like one of the biggest names in the industry, learned all different types of diets, and experimented with my own clients, as far as the latest and greatest, the tried and trues, and it really all comes down to like control of calories. Like one of the things I'm doing here is actually monitoring my dad's diet. And it's crazy, man. Like my dad has this crazy routine where he goes to McDonald's every morning, goes to have lunch somewhere, and then finishes the night off with dinner. And I've been monitoring it, and like
without him knowing.
Yeah. So like it's not like not that he cares, right? But it's just for me, like I'm very curious to know like how much he's consuming on a day-to-day basis, at least from him here. And he's 5'3", about 240 pounds, bro.
Wow. Yeah.
He's a dense, big dude, but the question's always like, why is he getting bigger?
Right.
I mean, the answer is kind of obvious.
Yeah.
He's eating way more than he says, and he's probably working out less than he will admit to. And it's true, right? I mean,
input more than output.
Yeah, exactly. And that's calories in, calories out, right? As far as the paddling study goes. And I'm just quantifying it. And I'm showing, I'm putting all the data in. I'm like, he's eating like 2,000 calories a day. And he's pretty much sedentary. Of course he's going to get bigger. Yeah. But the question is not, okay, now we know this information, is what can we do with the information? Can I help my dad with dementia, help him like understand that, his health is not getting better. Doctors tell him, his friends tell him, like other health professionals tell him. And the question is why isn't he doing anything about it? Right. That really comes down to
comfort.
Not even comfort, but it's more like, I don't know. I want to say it's cultural.
Okay.
It's my dad's not the only person that you probably know who has the same issue.
Yeah, man. My grandmother passed away. She was diabetic.
Yeah.
Died doing dialysis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, not during dialysis, but was dialysis for many years. I've seen how weak it made her. and it was, becoming diabetic is not a hereditary thing or like you're doomed or destined for it. It's your diet, right? I mean, it's what you're putting in your body and it's what your body is reacting to is why you're sort of getting into the situations that you're in, right?
I mean, and the crazy part, it's 100% reversible. At least type 2, right? Type 2 diet, it's 100% reversible. Like you can be.
And type 1's controllable.
Type 1 is controllable. Type 1 is more, type 1 you're kind of born with it. And so you really can't do much about it. But most people who have type 2 diabetes, which is a large population of diabetics, it has a lot to do with diet. Yeah, it has a lot to do with diet. It has a lot to do with selection of foods. Dude, it's so crazy, man. I've been.
Yeah, man. You should talk to Rose. She actually goes to these conferences, and they're trying to determine the. I don't want to butcher it, but they're trying to determine what the diet of the Pacific Islander is. Yeah. Because the diet that the Pacific Islander is the normal Pacific Islander is consuming now. Was all brought in from the outside, so it's changing the whole genetics and the biology of what of how we live in this region, and I don't know where her thoughts were going on that, but that's sort of where it is. Like people are trying to figure that out now.
Man, it's a very tough subject because I'm like looking, and I look at and I'm staying with my sister, staying with my dad, and I look in the fridge and I'm like looking at the stuff and like, dude, the stuff that I'm seeing is like from California, from Florida, from, the Midwest. And I'm like,
imported.
Yeah, it's all imported. I'm like, why did you buy plums when you could have had like mangoes, or you could have had star apples, or you could have whatever. I mean, like she has trees full of fruits, papayas, out there. And I'm just like, why'd you buy this? And she was like, well, I love plums, like I want to have plums. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And, you like what you like. And then, I look at the box of cereals, and I look at, the cartons of milk. And, I don't want to like say I have anything against it because it's important. A lot of people need it.
Bro, it's in every family's refrigerator and pantry, bro.
And like and I guess I don't know this, and I can't say I'm a specialist at this or an expert, but there has to be some type of correlation, like why people are getting fatter, people are having diabetes, people are having all health complications, and it's almost like clockwork.
Yeah,
it's almost like clockwork. Like it's so. Anyways, so it's So
boy, your grandfather had it. Yeah. Your great grandfather had it. It's like what were they eating?
And it's like it's 100% accepted in the culture, and
right. I mean, you're totally spot on, dude. It's become accepted.
Yeah.
And to where before my grandfather died, we were like 150 pounds of rice in the house, because we're afraid of war happening at any moment, right?
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole mentality of people that old, though. And but you think about it, it's like, damn, look at what we're packing up on,
Yeah. I mean, I want to say there can be a lot of improvements to it, and the cool part, bro, the really cool part is, and like I'm all about like learning from people. I've been seeing a lot of the younger generation like being very proactive about being self-sustainable. Like there's this couple, I don't know if you know them, but they like really promote like eating indigenous foods in the island.
Young couple. Yeah. BB, help me out here, bro.
I mean, they're pretty popular.
Hilan and Francesca, right?
Yeah, I mean, like it's not just about the.
Right. Hey, dude, pass me the aircon remote.
The language.
I'm sweating here.
Yeah, bro. It's a hot topic, bro. Hot topic.
Might be the beer.
Could be the beer too.
Thank you, brother.
But I just see a movement going on, and it's like and it's again a grassroots movement, and I think it's really cool, and I think it's really important, and I think they're hitting it spot on as to kind of redefining what it means to be an Islander.
Yeah.
And it's just based off Instagram, so I really don't know. But yeah, that's the only information I get. So.
And I don't doubt that they live like that every day, but it's what's provided to us here, right? Yeah. I mean, think about Guam. Think about everything that needed to come here. Think about the population now compared to then, when sustainability was possible. You know, like actually living off the land. Yeah. Now you have 160,000 people with 50,000 people dependent on the government to give them money in order to buy food. And now you go to the stores and these people are fucking filling up their carts with iced tea, fucking ramen, Oreos, all these really bad things for you. It's like, okay, what are we doing to the population now? Yeah. Right. And it comes down to individual want. Right? Yeah. Is this what you want?
Values. Yeah, for sure. Values. Yeah. And so, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I mean, there's obviously, it's a loaded gun question. But just trying to tie this back to the study, my whole goal has really been, since I moved to the States, is how to really promote paddling as a means of improving health. That's really what this is about, is like improving health.
Yeah, you know, man. Like, I think it got me to quit cigarettes. Because I don't want to fucking die. Honestly, bro, I didn't want to die in the middle of paddling, bro. I mean, it was like, the mental strain, yeah, but the physical part of it is just like through the roof. Nothing I've ever experienced before. To where I'm convincing myself, like, no, you're not tired. You're not tired. You're
tired. You're tired. You're tired. You can't stop. You can't stop.
Breathe. Don't forget to breathe.
Yeah, don't forget to breathe. You can't stop. There's 5 other guys watching you, bro. Come on. Dude, and you know, another cool thing is I haven't come across a single person who's tried paddling who said they didn't like it. Yeah, that's another thing too. Really like, I haven't come across someone to be like, this sucks. Maybe there was 1 or 2 people out there, but the vast majority, they love it. It's a freaking fun, loving sport, man. Like, who doesn't like to be out on the water and working out at the same time?
Then you finish the workout and you jump in the water and cool down.
So that's what the study is about, and I'm pretty excited for this. I think I could get more funding to be able to do more research.
How would you expand your research based off the data that you plan on collecting? So now you're finishing the first phase.
Yeah. So the first phase is data collection, right? Is it true? Are paddlers getting fatter? That's really what it is. Are they getting fatter? And is their performance decreasing? So that's what the study's going to answer the question. And if whether it's right or wrong, the next phase would be more controlled. So actually start implementing workouts.
Factors, right?
Yeah, like implementing like diet programs, and having more structure. And I don't think we'd be able to randomize it and have like double blinds.
But you're still studying the variability.
Yeah. So basically, I guess our control would be someone who's not doing the diet and someone who's not doing the exercise program versus someone who is, but they're both paddling. Does that contribute to, you know, body composition and performance? Right.
Is he drinking beer after every practice?
Yeah. I mean, that's a hard part too, because you know, people forget that they didn't drink 2 beers, they drank 4, you know. You know, like they didn't know they did drink right after, you know, practice. They just don't remember. I don't know. It's just it now just becomes the validity of what the participants say. And so it's always gonna be errors involved, but
but I think you need to also kind of look at the extreme now, right? Because the extreme would be a pure athlete, just a extreme athlete, just that's all they do. They wake up, they eat good, they paddle, they sleep good, they paddle. Well, I mean, basically what you were doing for a while, right?
Let me stop you there. So you hit a couple good points, but some points that aren't exactly true. And I think the biggest point is eating right. Right? Like, what is eating right? You know, and knowing what I know now, and knowing how I was eating, like leading up to the Olympics, I was not eating right, bro. Like, Subway was my staple. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I thought
Subway's fake food, bro.
I mean, but I thought Subway was good food. I mean, like that. I mean, it's a little bit better than, you know, eating freaking barbecue chicken with red rice or like Kelligwin. I mean, they're not bad foods, but you kind of need to have more like variety in the food. Right. And I thought Subway was the variety. You know, I mean, freaking
getting
Jared,
the vegetables.
Yeah, dude, Jared lost a lot of weight, bro. It has to be good. So,
but he's also a pedo, so
yeah. So maybe something in the bread.
Might be the fake chicken breast.
So yeah. So but dude, and you know, here's another interesting part. Like, this is this is something that not a lot of people understand. I work with a lot of athletes, and when I say athletes, I'm talking about like NFL players, like not NHL, like maybe up and coming NHL players, like in San Diego, because those are really pretty much the two. Baseball players, fighters.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I do a lot of fitness measurements on these guys, and then I do consulting work with them, talking about their food intake, and half the guys don't really know what the hell they're doing. Half these people that want to lose weight, they end up eating far less than their body can handle. Therefore, their body fat percentage goes up. Remember I talked to you about, like, you know, in a very long season, most people end up going fat because they have this stagnant nutrition. They think what they eat from day one,
it's gonna be the same
at day 100, right, at the end of the season. But it's not true. When we think about exercise programs, we periodize it, right? We have these high days, we have these low days, and then we prepare for the competition to be even higher.
Okay.
Why don't we do that with nutrition? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of eating, are you saying like they'll eat chicken breasts for 5 months?
I mean, like, yeah, simply put, but they don't, their food intake is not on par with their activity, activity expenditure. You know what I mean? Like, I guess you need to see it on a graph in order to.
Can we put up a graph?
Yeah, can we? This is what I do with the athletes too. I need a chalkboard. I need some chalk. Let me show you what I'm talking about, bro. You need to see this on XY graph. But I'm serious. Like, it's
Yeah, see if we can pull something up at least with the graphs of give them an XY.
Just show a standard, like, periodized. Just look for a periodization program. Exercise periodization. I mean, they're all pretty much the same. They have these increased performance dips, and then higher increase. And
are you saying periodization?
Periodization.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
periodization. So, like, basically breaking. So, like, you have a season, which is a mesocycle, and then in each season we have, like, these, like, points, like these benchmarks, right? Like,
okay.
Like for, like, football, right? They have their preseason camp, right?
Right.
They actually have summer training, and then preseason, and then they have the season,
right?
And then they have the postseason,
yeah,
and then they have off season.
Okay.
Those are cycles. So their exercise programs fluctuate within those cycles. Summer training and preseason, it's pretty high. So what you see right there in that traditional periodization model is volume, right? Volume is high in the beginning and it starts to drop down.
Okay, and this is for time and workout.
Yeah, you can just say, like, demand. We'll just say demand,
okay,
right?
Okay.
So you see the demand of volume is really high, then it drops. See the intensity very low, then it increases, and then technique increases. Now, if we were to look at that point and, like, just go up like 4 points above, intensity's dot, 4 points above it,
okay,
and we call that nutrition. Nutrition is stagnant, and it stays from that one line all the way across to the end.
You're looking at here.
I mean, here, why don't you just put your finger 4 points above, 4 lines above,
okay,
and just go straight across line. That's nutrition. See what I mean? Like,
right,
it's stagnant. Why? Right. So why when we look at nutrition, why does it stay the same in comparison to exercise training when you obviously see changes being made? And it comes down to body composition. We know this. When you start to
because that will also affect energy, right?
Exactly, dude.
Okay.
Exactly. And so when your body composition changes, your energy demands change.
Yeah.
And therefore your intensity will change, obviously, because you're improving. So your body needs more energy.
Yeah, that brings me to a good point. My friend, he competed in it's actually a year ago, he competed in the Asian Open for jiu-jitsu. And he did good his first match, but by his second match, he was dead out of energy.
Yeah.
And he was wondering why. He's in his mind, he was like, I was eating so good.
Yeah.
I was eating right. I was keeping my body weight down, but I lost energy. I mean, not even losing power.
Yeah.
It's energy.
Yeah. And so the question comes down to what is right? What is right? What is good nutrition? That's the biggest question. What is that? And in my personal opinion, it's very much person to person. It's very much so person to person. And then also, I don't know. I really don't know his training programs, but a lot of times it has a lot to do with energy demand needs. Like he probably wasn't training. I don't know. But typically when I come across someone who's like gassed themselves a lot faster than they wanted to, their training program wasn't reflective of what their body needed to do for peak performance. They might have peaked before that, and then now they're on the tail end of that peak, and so therefore their body wasn't in the shape they wanted to be. They peaked too soon.
Right.
Classic. That's a classic thing that happens. Peaking too soon or peaking too late. for specific performance. That's why programming is so important.
I wonder why you're amping. Why you're amping after the competition is done. It's like, oh shit, I feel like I can go 10 more rounds.
Exactly.
When it should happen during.
It should happen during that competition.
Right.
And that's why athletes can't. Every athlete can't expect to be 100% every race.
Damn, dude. So now you're also dealing with timing.
Yeah.
Precision.
Exactly, dude. It has everything to do with understanding how your body is during that point in time, and where you want it to be at that point in time, and what to ensure it becomes that.
Right. So the real data points would start off with the athlete in the beginning of the season. Yeah. That's the real data points that really matter then.
It's a baseline. It's a baseline. So you have your baseline. You need to have a baseline, right? You need to understand where.
But you have a base. Oh, individually you have. Yeah. Everyone will have that baseline.
Yeah.
Okay. But so how far along would you I guess start studying data points then?
So in this particular one, we because of financial means, we can only do 3 different points, right? Beginning, middle, and end.
Right. Okay.
And that's and really the midpoint is just to see where they are, but the real study is between beginning and end. Right, that's the question. Did their body change in the beginning versus the end, and did their performance improve, or did it decrease? That's the study. And then the midpoint, the mid testing is just to have more data to see were they better mid season? Did they have a better body composition mid season? Yeah. Or was it worse? And did they improve at the end? And so that's where we're going.
Dude, I'm very interested in how all your research turns out because. Yeah. Fuck you, dude. I'm just thinking about it. Variables just keep coming up in my head. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
It seems like a plethora of variables.
And I think the best part about it is it's starting to raise more awareness. That's really the goal is to inform people, let them know that if things aren't going the way they want it to, there's probably a reason why, and the answer is not as simple as most people would want to hear. But it can clear up a large amount of questions. Yeah. Like why aren't I losing weight? Why am I not improving the way I should be? Because I've been training.
Why I still got this arm fat, but I've been doing bicep curls.
Dude, yes, exactly, exactly. I mean, like now so exactly. It's like why? What are these questions? And being in the business now for 4 years, and dude, I've been monitoring people for like 3 years, 4 years. It's really cool, man. It's really cool seeing like having data, tangible data
for sure,
and seeing fluctuations. And what I've come to have my own self analysis on is shit happens, bro. Shit happens. Like you want to like you come to my facility one day, like this is my goal. This is where I want to be at the end. And then if you have consistent measuring points, like throughout that time, you can actually see when you had a loss in your family, or you had like stress in your job, or your girlfriend broke up with you.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? Like those are stressors, dude. That's what I'm saying. Those are stressors. And then I guess what we're looking at now is a very holistic approach to an athlete.
Oh, don't say holistic.
Oh, I don't know. Am I missing something?
Yeah. You.
All right.
Yeah, we won't talk.
Okay. All right. So the total approach of an athlete. All right. Not just the physical. Yeah. Right. Not just the physical. Not just the mental, but now behavioral.
Okay.
Behavioral, dude.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like
mental.
Mental. Like we're not robots. We don't function. Like just in the same stuff every day. We deal with a lot of things. Like right now,
Sean, I was going through some shit and I just needed to have ice cream.
Yeah. Or like, it's like I had a shitty work day. I'm gonna go frickin' drink my ass off. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, man, bro. Anyways, but yeah, no, exactly. It's dude, and so this is what I've been working on with a lot of my clientele. It's dude, let's acknowledge that there's shit going on, and more importantly, let's figure out how to overcome it.
Right.
Dude, right?
So the bounce back.
Yeah. So for instance, this is a classic one that I always utilize. You had a shitty work week, right? You're about to get fired. You got fired. Friday night, you want to freaking go out and just like let go. You know one of my tactics? Dude, get drunk, go crazy, whatever. Don't eat for the next 2 days. Drink water fast.
What?
So you think it's crazy. You think it's crazy to not eat, but check this out. Like alcohol is calorically dense, right? It's energy. When you drink alcohol, your body actually either tries to get rid of it or stores it in some form.
Diuretic, right?
I mean, it's a diuretic meaning that you'll
dehydrate.
Yeah, dehydrate yourself. That's what that basically means. But no, I mean, like alcohol is a calorie.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
And so if you freaking drink a 12-pack of beer, and each can of beer equates to 150 calories, count up that amount of calories you have. You probably had 2 days worth of food, so you don't need to eat. Right, the desire for your body to want to eat has more so to do with like serotonin levels, like your body needing to feel good, like need a pick me upper, dehydration, electrolyte imbalance, maybe even a slight hormonal imbalance. But it's not because you need to eat food. You know what I mean?
It's not because the actual body is hungry.
It's not because your body is hungry. Your body is
not in your brain.
Yeah, your body does not need food after you've drank freaking a 12-pack of beer. And then you freaking wonder why I drink a 12-pack of beer and then I eat that night, eat the next day, I gained weight the following freaking day. You know, it's like, dude, it's like it kind of makes sense why you did, but it's okay if you do. It's normal.
You drank a 12-pack and had a breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, but the point is, it's like, dude, like you have this relapse. Everyone has a relapse. Everyone has the bad days. Everyone has bad weeks. Everyone has shit going on. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. You can't like deprive yourself of things that you feel like you need to do. But at the same time, you can have these like little strategies in order to not have such a big setback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like little things like that. Like, yeah, dude, freaking go have your cheesecake. Go have your cake at the party, but just cut back on the calories the next day.
Yeah.
And you can do it simply by fasting, by just removing breakfast. So going back to my dad measuring his caloric intake, every morning he eats a sausage McMuffin with hash browns, drinks coffee, puts about 3 coffee creamers inside, and sometimes, depending on how he is with his dementia, he'll either have Splenda or real sugar. If he has real sugar, his total caloric intake in that morning comes out to 800 calories.
Wow. Yeah, that's like half the day already.
Exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly, half the day. And then so I haven't tried to intervene in it, right? I'm just trying to monitor and assess and you see what's going on. And then lunchtime, you know, he'll have some type of meat with a cup of rice and whatever. And, you know, that comes out to about 400 calories. And then at dinner time, you know, like I've been trying to control it. We go to Subway, we order a 12-inch sandwich and I only give him half. I eat the other half, he eats half. And that comes out to about 300. So already, if we just look at the basic numbers, he's already at 1,800 calories.
Right.
And that's not including the snacks he was eating in between that. So it's
or the sodas.
Yeah, and so and you know, calorie counting is not the end all means all. There's a lot of errors in calorie counting, but it's something that we have to give us a guideline of what's going on.
It worked for me, man. I mean, I lost 20 pounds calorie counting.
Yeah, I mean, you look good, bro. I was just gonna say, you look like you're back in playing rugby. Playing rugby again?
No. I'm retired from physical contact sports. I'm studying for my PE coming up in a month, about a month and a half.
Are you in the military?
No.
PE? What do you mean PE?
Professional engineers license.
I was like, physical education, bro. What the hell? What do you need PE for, bro? I was like, you're freaking a grown-ass man. What you doing at PE, dude?
Are you a high school teacher?
I was like, what the hell? I was like, dude.
Hey, your name Mr. Brown?
I was like, what?
Yeah, no. Yeah, so I'm studying. So I just been I'm not able to do sports, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or even I was doing jiu-jitsu for a little bit. I did paddling last year. I was doing jiu-jitsu, and it just takes up a lot of time, you know? You're looking at 2 to 3 hours a day of just commitment that you do go, and I needed those 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so instead of completely cutting out working out, I have to say I eat decently. I don't eat super well, you know what I mean? I still have salty foods and
you still have rogue beer,
drink beer and stuff. Yeah, man. But I work out pretty much every day.
Yeah.
You know, and run a mile and just do simple workouts just to keep the body going, work up a sweat, dude. Because, man, living here is one of the hardest things to do in being healthy.
Yeah, I agree.
I was just in San Diego just last week.
Bro, you didn't even say what's up, man?
Yeah, you know what, man.
It's all right, bro.
It was work. It was work.
Whatever, bro.
It was a work trip.
Yeah, it's all right.
Didn't really have much
it's all right.
much breathing room. That's why I was surprised you hit me up. I was like, holy shit. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. It's gonna be on Guam. Yeah. But just being out there, the options are limitless. You know,
dude,
absolutely limitless. Everywhere in California.
And California, and the biggest thing California's doing is they're very big on like locally grown produce.
Yeah.
Like farmers markets, bro, are everywhere.
Dude,
people are all about like buying like freaking lettuce that was grown like 2 miles away.
Right.
Like that's and that's exactly where I feel we kind of need to be. Not just for people of Guam, but like everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
We need to get back to more like self-sustaining.
Yeah, I think on Guam you can't. I mean, yeah, we can do the big acres of farmland and stuff, but I think when it comes down to Guam, it needs to be localized. I'm growing bok choy in the back.
I was gonna say, dude, it doesn't have to be big. It just can be
Yeah.
something that you have outside if you're on your land. It's
Yeah.
like it could be the papaya, like it could be freaking grapefruit. I mean grapefruit, breadfruit, bananas. Like, dude, like, man, papayas, avocados, abus, otis, freaking, dude.
But even down to the vegetables, you know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, like
you can grow onions here easily, right?
onions.
I'm growing. I live in an apartment and I'm growing green onions and bok choy,
dude,
right? So it's like
that's pretty badass.
It's possible, right? It's possible to. And dude, I literally bought these things at the store, cut it up, replanted it.
It's pretty badass, bro.
Yeah, and it's opened my eyes to sort of what's possible and the excuses that we make in that. No, it takes too much time. This and that. It's an individual want.
Value.
Yeah.
What do you really value?
What do you really value? Is your health what you value?
Yeah.
Do you not give a fuck about it?
Yeah.
You know, and I've fallen victim to it.
Yeah.
Dude, when I moved back to Guam in 2010, I was 145 pounds. 2 years later, I was 190 pounds.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. I was like, where'd this stretch mark come from? I was like,
damn,
yeah, bro.
Damn,
yeah,
bro,
dude.
Big, bro.
Yeah, dude, big. You know, and I'm only 5'7", and right then and there, I was like, oh shit. I was in the worst condition of my life. I was eating so bad.
It took you 50 pounds to realize that.
Yeah, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weight, bro.
Because I didn't realize what I was gaining. I was in a band playing out every night. So it was late night dinners, you know, work all day, cigarettes, pack a day.
That's
maybe 2, you know? And I was in the worst physical and health condition of my life.
Were you happy during that time?
I thought I was.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. That's cool.
But apparently I wasn't, because I'm happier now.
Yeah.
You know, actually being conscious about what I'm putting in my body and the work that I'm making my body do.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to destroy my body by being in physical contact sports like rugby or football or anything like that.
Yeah.
I even retired from soccer last year too, because I had 2 major injuries, bro, and I was just like, all right, dude, I'm kind of just like need to take a break with just contact sports, and it's done good. You know, it helps, and I think paddling was a good step outside of contact sports, because now it was a mental sport now.
Yeah.
Now I'm really challenging myself. I felt like it was like tennis. Never played tennis before, but
yeah. It's like tennis, but I never played.
It's like what I would imagine tennis would be like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played tennis either, so I've tried, and it's freaking hard.
Yeah, dude.
Tennis is hard.
So, I mean, just being here on Guam, it's easy to fall into eating bad. Just the options. Dude, anything after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you have no healthy options.
Yeah.
All the healthy options are closed, don't exist. That's it. I mean, that's the situation we're running into.
Yeah.
You know, and now Guam is sort of breeding these entrepreneur-like people who are hustling late night, to where none of these things are available to us.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's 24-hour grocery stores, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So we manage. You can live healthy here.
Yeah.
It just takes more effort.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to eat bad.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to cook?
Yeah.
Well, we're passing by Linda's right now, so
yeah,
let's go eat something we can fucking make at home. You know?
So I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm also like wanting to enjoy Guam, but I went to like Mezcla yesterday.
Okay.
Dude, freaking food is so good.
Yeah.
Freaking food is so good. But I was like, trying to like, because I was with my dad. I was like, oh, did I do something?
No, you're good.
I was with my dad, and I was like trying to like mentally calculate the caloric content of this like curry beef dish, and then the chesa plate.
Right. Yeah, the dry beef.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, this is enough to feed 4 people.
Right.
And it's only 2 of us, and and like for me, it's like, well, I got to eat it because it's kind of expensive, you know. It's like not cheap, right? It's like I mean, it's not. I want to say
$16-17 meals. Dude.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, kind of I have to finish this, right? But at the same time, it's like, dude, why do I think that way? Why am I like thinking I have to finish it because I'm spending this much money for it?
Because that's what we were taught, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, boy, finish your food.
Exactly, right?
People who can't even eat that food.
Exactly, right? And it's, you know, like, and you're also paying money for it, so you're gonna finish the food. You're not gonna make it go to waste. And it's like, dude, like this is a meal for 4 people. And then the other thing that I noticed was I was kind of ashamed because I thought I first bought the Indian curry, right? Beef, right? For my dad. I thought we're gonna share it again, right? Because I figured it's gonna be this large portion, and it was. But I kind of felt ashamed. I was like, dude, I'm only buying like 1 meal for me and my dad. You know, like I was like, Mamala, I was like, I kind of need to have more food on here to make it seem like everything's okay, right? I was like,
hey boy, you struggling?
Yeah, you know, I was like, dude, why do I care about what other people think? Like, why do I care? Like, there needs to be more food on this table.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, to make it seem like everything's okay. And I kind of felt guilty because I bought the chesa plate. And I was like, dude, this is way too much food. And my dad was eating it. You know, he was enjoying it. He was eating the fried tortillas. He was eating whatever, you know, like, I don't even know what they called it. Like I guess it's a spinach dip.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't see that there. But like, and like, you know, that's a lot of food, bro.
Oh, yeah. That's
a lot of food for 2 people. And I'm pretty sure his caloric intake that day was like 3,000.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, it's just like, dude, it's like, why am I feeling guilty for not having, you know, not having to have excess amount of food?
I feel like you're answering your own hypothesis, man.
Yeah, so
it is cultured, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think there's a lot of studies out there, and I think what this study can do is bridge that cultural mindset versus sports, and then body composition, and try to like tie these things together.
Yeah.
Just try to tie them all together, and it's gonna be easier said than done. That's the one thing I realized about like working with the government. It's like these processes take a lot longer than you.
Some pulling teeth.
Yeah, dude. It's like, I mean, so like this is international review board approved, and so it has to go through a board. Like, so this like the paper, like my study had to go through a board panel.
Mm-hmm.
They read it, and they see like the relevance.
To make sure they're not wasting their money.
Yeah, wasting the money, and see there's even like a relevance to it.
I see.
And then they allocate funds, and then obviously the smaller funds are pretty easy to do. If you want to get to the bigger funded ones, it's gonna take like years. And the Fit Lab we're waiting for this grant to be approved, and it's been going for 2 years. We're actually like gonna be a facilitator for the study. We're gonna be doing the research and the testings and the exercise training for this study, and it's gonna be one of the biggest studies for Pacific Islanders. Like it's gonna tie in like people not just working on their nutrition, getting training, but behavioral psychology.
So you're gonna be bringing different fields of study into your research.
Yeah. So for this one, we're actually gonna be a part of a study. Like we're part of a grant to be able to work with this study. This is not ours.
Okay.
We're just a facilitator. We're like just a facility for them.
Okay.
But I mean, it's like it's been almost 2 years. It could be a 3rd year before this study goes approved, just because it's like $1 million study.
Dang.
So I mean, it's just like, I mean, yeah, right. You know, like the government's not just throw money away to people for certain things, and kind of with this with the political scene right now, minorities aren't necessarily as high of a priority as it was in the previous administration.
For sure. I just talked to somebody.
Yeah.
While I was in San Diego, and he's starting this Pacific Islander initiative of trying to make it easier for it's actually a great idea. It's an app.
Wait, let me guess. Islander Elevation by Felix Sablon.
Felix Sablon.
I help him out, man.
Okay.
I know him very well.
Yeah. I just met him over the weekend, dude, and we talked for like an hour. I feel like he's fucking intelligent as fuck.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. He's very involved with the scene.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, it's so genius. Just incorporating, letting people know that, hey, yeah, we're minorities out here, but there's people in the corporate world
Yeah.
that can help you get your foot in the door.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's touched on this one, but I think the biggest thing that Felix is doing with the Pacific, with Island Elevation, is more from civil duties aspect, like trying to get Pacific Islanders, because there's a large population right in San Diego.
Yeah.
But where the Islanders aren't active civically, we don't do anything. You know, we're not involved with politics. We're not involved with businesses. We're actually...
Yeah, he was saying that Pacific Islanders are the lowest voting race in the United States.
And and so this is where the study...
And highest unemployment, I think.
Dude, check this out. So this is where my affiliation with this study comes into play. There's an organization called PIC Health, Pacific Islander Community Health Group. Mm-hmm. And what they're trying to measure is there a correlation between social economic disparities, low education, and location, that's causing...
Pull up some Pacific Islander stats, bro. In the United States, San Diego.
Look up PIC Health organization. They have a lot of research on there. They actually have a lot of data. And so what they're trying to say is like, well, if we improve the health of Pacific Islanders, if we give more opportunities for education, would their health improve? And more importantly, would they be more civically involved? That's huge, dude. Huge. And because when we become more civically involved, we actually have a bigger voice in Congress. And like, we don't have a non-voting representative in Congress. We actually have like someone being like, dude, San Diego has a very large population of Pacific Islanders who feel like they're not having their needs met. Therefore, we need a representative in there voicing our concerns, because it's not just Pacific Islanders in San Diego, but San Francisco, Las Vegas, Houston, Washington. Dude, I don't know where else we're located.
LA, Long Beach. Yeah.
I mean, everywhere, right? There's a good amount of us.
The West Coast is full of them. Yeah.
So I think this can... I'm speaking over my head here because I don't really know, but I feel like it's a bigger voice than having a non-voting member in Congress from Guam, you know?
For sure. Yeah. A united voice is better than a singular voice, right?
And especially the stateside level.
Yeah.
Especially because that's where we can actually vote.
Yeah. Yeah, man, dude, being out there and talking to, I was talking to a few people, one Chamorro born and raised, one Chamorro born and raised in the States. Did I give that to you?
No.
Shoot. Oh yeah, we ran out of water. Okay.
Stealing your water, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, one Chamorro that was born and raised in the States. One Chamorro that was born and raised on Guam, now lives in the States for about almost 10 years. And then Korean, born in the States, raised on Guam, now lives in the States. And it's kind of opened my eyes, man, as to why people... It gave me a different perspective. I always wondered why, dude, how come people don't come back home? Give back. Yeah. It's because our voice is tiny here, dude. And it's exactly what you said. It's like, it's better to have people out there doing things and making names of themselves, and being in the corporate ladder or the civic ladder and going up, because they have a better chance of being heard than us in the Pacific Islands, whether you're in Hawaii, whether you're in Samoa, whether you're in Guam, Saipan.
It's crazy. It's a really good point. It's a really good point. I didn't even think about it that way, but yeah, it's a really good point. It's I remember when I first moved out here, I was like, or moved back to San Diego, I was like, dude, I'm going to go back home. I'm not going to be one of those people who leave and never come back, right? Because you're brain drain, right? That was a big term. And dude, and I starting this business, like going back, I'm like, dude, I can't. The life I'm living in San Diego and what I'm doing with this research, with like my personal training, and like starting these businesses.
Why are you making a difference?
Well, not just that, but it's like I won't be able to do it here on Guam. I just won't have the connection. I won't have like the means to be able to. It's when I say the means, it's not easily as accessible to be doing everything that I'm doing in San Diego versus here. That's how I feel.
Understood.
But now that I'm here, I'm like looking at the development of what's going on. I'm like, well, maybe that might not be true. Might not.
Why
be
is
true.
that?
Social media.
Okay.
Social media. I feel like that's, and I feel like social media presence is now a bigger voice than conventional means.
Do you think people would be seeking out the same information that you found people were seeking out when you first opened the Fit Lab?
No.
And getting those diagnostics here?
No. I don't think it would be. You know what? Let me take it back. I think the answer is yes, but it'd be a very small percentage. I think what it is comes down to, because there's about 3 million people in San Diego. And right now I probably hit 0.0007% of the population, right? Like I have a very small percentage in there. And I realize there's a reason why, and that's because education. Not too many people know about it. The people who know about it are the people looking for it, and the people who are looking for it are the people who are trying to take better steps for themselves. And they're wondering, asking these questions to themselves, like, why aren't I losing weight? Or like, is there a better way of understanding my body? That's what they're looking for. And then they type it in, and they'll be like, yo, yeah, there's body fat tests through the hydrostatic weighing, the best method to measure body composition. Or there's this other test that I do called the resting metabolic rate to figure out how much calories my body needs. So they're finding it. And I think we've been doing very, very well doing that. But as a business, I need to do a better job of educating.
Right.
You know, letting people know that, yeah, there's like, if you're stuck, well, here's a way to figure something out.
Yeah, but even the education would start even before the thought comes to their mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's social media.
It's like Inception, right? Like you're planting the seed.
Yeah. Funneling. Yeah. It's funny. Like in marketing terms, it's called funneling. Okay. Right? Like you hit a demographic and you're like, this is the demographic you want to work with. And you're like, okay, this is the information I want to share. So I'm going to share this information, and I'm going to follow up that information with more information, and then more information. Then eventually I'll be like, hey, well, if you're interested now, why don't you press this button and you get 10% off your first dunk test? You know, like that's funneling, right? Okay. And so yeah, and so that's what the next step of my business is to educate, and no longer rely on people looking for me. Now I'm going to start looking for other people who are actually looking for it. They just don't know it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't know you were looking for this.
Yeah.
You dropped this.
Yeah. And and if you click now, 10% off. So yeah,
I can see how Guam can sort of be a challenge. You're right. People aren't looking to be healthy. I mean, and it's the surrounding factors that allow us to be healthy. Like we've been talking about. There's no real means to, okay, yeah, we can buy local sort of, but you're paying the same price as the shit that's imported.
Dude, it's yeah. Well, going back to what you said about people don't want to get healthy. I feel like they're like young generation for sure. Dude, from like custom fitness, right? Okay. That's the Claris brothers. Right, dude, I see their stuff all the time. Like they're freaking, like they look like they're like huge. Right. Paradise Fitness, like opening 2 other locations in Tumon area, right? Is that right? Yeah. Neil Limbo was telling me he hired a personal trainer. I think his name is Tia Paris's husband. Mike Borja. Mike Borja. Right. Yeah, he has his own personal training studio. Okay. Synergy has still been around. Like, they've been around for a very long time. Yeah. I mean, like, dude, like there's
sponsored by none of them, but
well, I mean, but going back to the
shameless plugs.
Yeah, going back to it. I mean, big props to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, we didn't have that 10 years ago.
Yeah, but still, I mean, look how many people have gym memberships but don't go to the gym.
But before it used to only be Paradise Fitness. Remember, before there's only Paradise Fitness and Gold's Gym, right? Those are the only 2 facilities. Now we have all these CrossFit gyms. Now we have personal training studios. Now we have these niche facilities. Now the expanded services of Paradise Fitness, and then I'm pretty sure there's a couple more.
And then Ray Chargaloff started the Hutsa group, and it was like working out outside, and that was like the hugest thing for maybe like 7 months. And then it was his Hutsa group, and then it was this random ass group, and then another random ass group, and random, and then all of a sudden there's like 30 groups like running the island.
Yeah. Know? And then another shout out, Jason Davis. Have you heard Jason Raymond Davis?
No, never.
You ever heard of him?
No.
He's that's Vincent Stella's brother.
Okay.
Yeah, he has his own stuff. I see his stuff all the time. I'm just seeing a lot of content. I'm seeing a lot of content. I mean, it looks huge. I don't know if it is huge, but social media wise, it looks pretty big here on Guam. And I'm just excited to see that there is that shift, you know, like for health.
Okay.
There's people that are looking for it.
Yeah, I'm okay. Maybe I was a little strong in saying that no one wants to be healthy here.
Yeah.
But you won't find it in the older generations to change their diet. It's like, boy, this is what I've been eating since I was young.
Dude, here's the sad part. Like, yeah, aside from monitoring my dad's nutrition, I'm also monitoring his water intake. He only drinks 2 cups of water a day. 2 cups. And that's the 2 cups. The first cup is to take his pills. And the second cup in the morning, pills in the morning. Second cup is to take his pills in the evening. And I ask him to take water. He just won't drink water. And he drinks like 2 cups of coffee a day. And that's the only liquids he takes every day. Wow. At least for the past 3 days that I've been with him. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like, how does your body function off that? I'm like, Dad, like, freaking, and that is
dude,
that
I know
generation.
people that drink a bottle of Coke every day.
Yeah.
With a Red Bull.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's like, dude, water. Like, just drink some water. Just drink a liter of water. Drink your bottle of Coke, Red Bull, but drink a liter of water with it. You know, like, just drink some water. Yeah. Just regular water. It's just crazy. I mean, it's, for me, I can drink a gallon of water a day. I do actually drink a gallon of water a day.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, it's more, I'm thirsty, dog. Thirsty.
Damn, dude.
Thirsty.
I think if I drink a gallon of water a day, I'll be pissing all night, dude.
Yeah, dude. And dude, it's like, I mean, like, you piss out toxins, you know, you get to like flush out, it's a better circulatory system. Like, that's how your cells move better, is through water. That's why it's very bad if you're dehydrated. I mean, that's just cellular function, man. Just think about it that way. Yeah. Like, yeah, you piss out all night, but you're pissing out stuff that your body doesn't need. It's excess.
But it hurts when I pee, Sean.
Why?
I've been peeing way too much. This is the 10th time I pissed today.
Just put plastic sheets over the bed, bro. You'll be good, man. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, obviously, a gallon is an excess. And, dude, here's an interesting fact. The amount of water you need to drink is arbitrary.
8 glasses a day is sort of just a made-up number.
Yeah, it's arbitrary. Yeah. Like, what the fuck does 8 glasses mean? Like, if your, like, little niece was drinking 8 glasses a day and you're freaking, you know, a freaking forward 6'1", 250-pound guy needs 8 glasses of water a day, like, who's drinking enough, who's not drinking enough, or who's over drinking, right? Like, it's arbitrary.
Yeah,
8 glasses a day. So there's really no exact number of how much water you need to drink. You just kind of need to drink a little bit more water than most people realize. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, and I think a liter a day, maybe 1.5 liters a day might be enough. But who knows? No one knows.
Yeah, thank God for the Hydro Flask, right?
Dude, keep it cool.
Keep it cool.
Keep it cool on a hot day.
Yeah. Until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, bro. Maybe the next day.
I still got ice.
Yeah. Wait, are you sponsored by Hydro Flask?
No. Hydro Flask, please sponsor me. They did tag me in a tweet one time.
Oh, did they really?
No, they liked the tweet. Simple pleasures.
Hey man, you're on the way. You're on the radar. You're on the radar.
That was 3 years ago. Yeah, dude. I mean, all kinds of questions are boiling in my head as far as like the data points you've been collecting, because one of the most important things when it comes to business and trying to like improve and progress your business is having data points.
Yeah.
Just the fact that you can pinpoint data puts you in an advantage. And literally people sell data. I was just talking to someone yesterday and they're like, yeah, dude, we're going to trade data and call it a day.
Nice.
And there's a guy in Saipan who actually like sells data to people. Like he collects data and sells it, right?
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. So, I mean, now that you've collected all this data over the last 3 years independently, are you able to make sort of a generalization of what, if you can just take the individual aspect out of being healthy? Can you make a generalized statement of what it really takes?
This is not my statement. I'm actually taking it from an actual meta-analysis study. People tend to overestimate their caloric expenditure. No, underestimate. Oh, wait. They underestimate their caloric intake and overestimate the caloric expenditure. As in, they like to say they eat far less than they really eat, and they like to work out far. Did I say that right?
No, it sounds right.
They work out far less than they really do. Yeah. And it comes down to intensity.
They eat far more than they really.
Yeah, did I say that right? Yeah. So they eat far more than.
Too.
Yeah, wait.
Yeah, can we rewind?
Yeah. So they eat far more than they say they do, and they work out far less than they say they do. Yeah. So that's that is in the 3.5 years that I've trained people, that's basically what it comes down to. I've experimented with keto diets. I've experimented with carbohydrate diets, carbohydrate cycling. That's like fluctuation of carb intake dependent upon
intermittent fasting.
I've fluctuated. I've experimented with intermittent fasting, and it really comes down to calorie control and moderate exercise. Actually, more than moderate exercise, you actually have to really challenge your body. This whole concept of working out 3 hours a week at walking, right, is really kind of bogus when you get to a certain point. Like, and it comes down to periodization, right? Programming. The body does a really good job of finding balance, right? And so what I mean by that is, if you never worked out before, right? If you've been sitting on your couch, walking 3 hours a day, 3 hours per week is profound.
Right.
It's profound.
Yeah.
But if
the body's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're getting the blood flowing. Your body's actually using energy. Your joints are moving, right? Like you're actually starting to apply force to the ground, you know, causing some type of impact on the joints, you know, on your muscles. Therefore, you know, requiring some type of energy. So you got to expend it.
Right.
But after 3-6 months, the body gets used to it, you know. And so if you're continuing to eat the way you normally do, and probably eat more because you're working out, you might not be, you're going to have to change something, and it's either eat less or work out more, right? And so I did this really cool, I'm doing this really cool, I've done it actually, it's 1 year. We did this study with a friend of mine. He's actually has a PhD in exercise physiology, and he's probably one of the most anal individuals I've ever met. I mean, like, dude, the freaking guy measures everything to the gram. And we're talking about, like, when we talk about calories, all right, like for the first 3 months, we implemented a keto diet. Didn't care about caloric intake, just ensured that his macro percentages was the 65, 20, was it 85, 15? No, 75, 15, whatever, something high, right?
Okay.
Followed it for 3 months, lost like 30 pounds, right? And then following that, we started to experiment with intermittent fasting. So what we did was start to control the caloric intake, increase his caloric expenditure, and limited the amount of time he'd have to eat. Intermittent fasting, right? So he had to eat, he can start eating at 12, but he have to be done by 8 kind of thing. So if he's eating 2,000 calories, he has to be done by that. And then in between those times, we ensured that he was eating a certain amount, consuming a specific amount of sodium, potassium, magnesium, and taking a multivitamin on top of it. So we're like measuring micronutrients too. And then we started to take it a little bit further by reintroducing keto, shortening the window period to eat, and whatnot. So, and he got to a point where he was like working out, or he would work out fasted because he wouldn't eat for 23 hours, and he'd have to get 1,500 calories within 1 hour. Yeah,
that sounds insane,
dude. Can you go to my Instagram page, Sean P the Trainer, at Sean P the Trainer? You're gonna come across a guy called Vinny, Dr. Vinny T. Guy looks amazing, bro.
Really?
Amazing, dude. I mean, it's just, I mean, but
now you're incorporating different kinds of diets at one time.
And again, it comes down to programming, right? It's like fluctuating. It's like, I guess the term before, it used to be the term before, yeah, you're gonna see a guy that's like just keep. So you're so he should be on there. Should be super close. But anyways, I mean, yeah, it comes down to like shocking the body was one term that was used very popularly. Changing up dynamics.
It makes sense, right? Because the body eventually would adapt.
Yeah, I mean,
it plateaus.
Yeah, Brian, can you actually go to Dr. Vinny T? Dr. Vinny T. It's actually on the FitLab SD page. Yeah, and he actually has a website now called Dr. Vinny T, and you can see right there. Go down. So where you can see his progression right there. You can click on that first. The top one, top left. Yeah. I mean, that's him, dude.
Holy shit.
You know, like, I mean, this is, and the cool part is we've actually documented every step of the way.
Even his skin tightened up.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like, and the term is autophagy. So basically, the theory is if you fast intermittently, your body actually has to one, utilize the dead cells, right? Like remove it, and then also use its own stored energy. And so and the theory stems from, if you kind of did this at an accelerated rate and on a different protocol, you'd actually see a lot more extra skin. I mean, he does have a lot of extra skin that surgery probably needed to remove, but I mean, the guy looks phenomenal.
No, he does, definitely.
He looks, I mean,
you would expect from being at day 0 to 1 year that it would be more, the elasticity of the skin would be even more how do I say it?
Tight.
Yeah.
Loose,
less tighter, looser.
Yeah,
Right.
Flabby, yeah. But
so you're saying that because of the type of workouts you were doing, it was helping tighten the skin at the same time?
It's actually the intermittent fasting.
Really?
Yeah, the intermittent fasting, and the term is autophagy. So it goes back to, right, if you drink 12 beers, you don't need extra food. Your body can actually use the 12 beers of energy you drank the night before as energy to maintain. You're not going to feel 100%. It's not because you're hungry, but because you're hungover. You know what I mean? And that's what we, and this is
should be your slogan.
Yeah.
It's not because you're hungry. It's because you're hungover.
That's actually going right. Yeah. But I mean, it's just this is actually a very good one, because we're actually in the process of writing a book about his 1 year transformation. The tools utilized.
Wow, he looks amazing. Go to the picture where it's a closer picture of him. Yeah, the second one.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I mean, right, 365 days, and I think there's a couple huge points that we want to hit on here. One, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Two, I mean,
I used that in a speech recently. Yeah.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And then another thing too is like, again, everything is personalized. Like, the reason why Vinny was able to utilize keto and do intermittent fasting is because he just has that mentality to do it. Not everyone can do it. Not everyone can fast for 23 hours.
Right.
You know, not everyone can do a keto and only consume freaking two extra tablespoons of butter because they need to hit their macro ratios. Like, that's kind of extreme.
Right.
And so if someone were to ask me, like, how do I look like him? It's like, dude, well, 1, it's going to take some time. 2, you're going to have to be disciplined. 3, don't do the shit you're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it really comes down to that. And so what's cool is
you have to be obsessed, literally.
Well, no. And that's what I'm saying. It's not about the obsession. And I think that's what we kind of have to, because it's a lifestyle. Obsession is not a lifestyle, right? Obsession creates obsession, right? Like and I think that's where calorie counting is bad. It creates obsession. Like, to be able to count your food every single time to make sure that you're within a certain, percentage and calories.
Well, this is enough rice.
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy. It's not how we live our normal day-to-day life. It's more like, look, dude, if you
but intermittent fasting isn't sort of like in a normal day-to-day life kind of thing, right?
Well, not for us, but in a lot of cultures it is. In the Muslim culture, they fast from sun up to sundown, during Ramadan for 40 days.
Right.
Very similar to our Lent.
Okay.
Right? They do the same thing. A lot of cultures fast, and it's more of a cleansing process. It's not fasting is not new. It's been practiced, and it's actually if we were to think about like diet techniques, it's probably the longest studied and researched topic in nutrition.
Interesting.
Fasting, because almost every culture does it. And so it's not new. It's been practiced, and it could be because for health reasons, because for religious reasons, but for the most part, it's been something that's been done as far as people know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, dude.
Diving deep, Sean.
So I guess
deep.
So here's a little tip for anyone who wants to start fasting. The simplest one to do is fast for 16 hours and only eat within an 8-hour period. And if you do it properly, that basically means you would start your first meal at lunch and you would finish it before 8 p.m.
Yeah, I actually downloaded a fasting app.
Yeah.
What is it called? And I literally lasted about 4 days. Dude, it was hard. It's a mental game. It's called Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Zero, and it's mental. It's just to convince yourself that I'm hungry, but I can wait.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah,
dude, it's fucked up.
It's and you know, and this is, I know my dad has dementia, and I wish I knew what I knew before when he didn't, because I'm pretty sure I would have made a bigger impact on him. And it has a lot to do with hydration levels, right? You know this.
Okay.
Like most people who don't drink, who feel the need to have to eat, it's really might be a mixed signal. A lot of times when we feel the sensation of hunger, it could be due to the mere fact that we're dehydrated. That's why hydration is so important. And that's why in a lot of diets, they call for you to drink a certain amount of water, especially before eating and after eating, to fill a void, right? To feel satiable.
Right. And you can survive off with no food longer than you can survive with no water.
You can survive months upon months without any food, but you cannot survive no more than a week. I'm pretty sure a week is even more than what the body can last without water. So yeah, you're absolutely right. And so that's another key point when it comes to it. It's like, if you feel hungry, drink water. If that's not enough, drink coffee. Caffeine is a known appetite suppressor, and so it works really well. So I don't know if you tried it. And then another thing too to think about, and this is obviously beyond my expertise, is to think about the behavioral psychology of wanting to eat. Are you stressing out? You know, those times, like, are you not sleeping?
Yeah.
You know, are you like waking up like feeling super tired and therefore need to drink coffee and therefore need to feel like you need to eat something because you're dying, you know? And that now becomes more of like
sleep patterns,
behavioral pattern. Yeah. Like, you know, and sleep is probably the most underrated variable for people who need to lose weight. It's probably, and like we're talking about quality of sleep where you actually get like like a solid 6 to 8 hours of like good sleep where you wake up refreshed.
Yeah, and not tossing and turning.
Yeah.
Because even people who suffer from sleep apnea.
Yeah.
I myself is one.
Yeah.
I was wondering why I was waking up extremely tired. Extremely tired.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
Weird, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I just got 7 hours of sleep. Why the fuck am I tired right now?
Yeah, and so
and my girlfriend would be like, dude, you hold your breath and you sleep, you know that? Yeah. And so I started to figure like, damn, my diet's bad. Yeah. And so I started to change my diet and change my diet, change the way I sleep.
Yeah.
Working on changing the bed. Yeah. But it's I feel better in the morning, dude. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning,
dude.
Pretty awesome, much, bro. And wake up and feel great. Yeah. And that's off of like 6 hours of sleep. Yeah. And I feel great. Yeah. And I'm getting the amount of sleep that my body actually needs to survive throughout the day. Before I was a coffee drinker.
You don't drink coffee anymore?
I love coffee. Yeah. It's one of my favorite things. Yeah. But I don't need it.
No, you don't, right?
I drink it for the joy of tasting it.
Because coffee's badass.
Yeah, coffee is awesome, right. Dude.
Yeah, coffee's badass.
You use creamer or sugar or anything
just
like that?
Black, bro.
Me, I'm black coffee.
The way
too.
I like my women. Oh. Bro, strong and bold, bro. Strong and bold, okay. Boo.
I was going to say,
I was
like, black? Yeah. Is your wife gonna listen to this?
She knows it. She knows it.
Strong and bold. The bold setting. I got the bold setting on my coffee maker over there. Yeah, dude. I love coffee. It's my favorite. But I was coming to the point where I needed it. Yeah. But through me changing, dude, even just me, like you said, when you order food and you just eat half of the food, half of the meal that's given to you, that's all you really need.
That's all you really need.
For some reason, we're taught to eat until we're full. Yeah. And we break that threshold to where like we're miserably full. Like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. Whew, that last noodle was just.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, and you know, I came across. Do you ever are you subscribed to the Hustle? Hustle.com?
Hustler?
No, Hustle, the Hustle actually. The Hustle. I mean, dude, it's probably
hustler.com.
TheHustle.com. TheHustle.com. Anyways,
let's check it out.
So these guys are basically writers, and they write about business and talk about the latest and greatest stuff that's going on around the world and nationally. And so one of the things that they talk about is you freaking made me lose my train of thought, boo.
Okay, sorry. The Hustle. Okay, we were talking about sheesh. Even I forgot.
God damn you, boo. What the hell were we talking about? So
sleep, coffee, energy.
No. Anyways, people, this was actually a golden point.
Why did you bring up the hustle?
Because it had something to do with an article that I read about something that was of relevance to what we're talking about, not hustler.
Sorry, I fool around too much.
Oh, dude. Okay. Anyways.
Well, let's backtrack here.
Okay. So
we were talking about sleeping patterns, and then feeling great, waking up, and then drinking coffee.
Yeah.
Bold and beautiful.
Strong and bold. Strong. Damn, dude. I don't know. Anyways, so these guys, I mean, it's a really great. They break down like all these investments companies. It's about business because that's what they talk about. Okay. Economy and brain fart, bro. Yeah. Brain fart. Anyways, moving on. Thehustle.co.com. That is pretty good. Sorry, they're not sponsored, but it's one of the things that I use to just like get my input on what's going on in the world as far as business is concerned. And there was relevance to it. God
damn it, boo. Why do you got to do this to your guests?
Man, well, it's going to hit me. It's going to hit me later. I'm just going to call you up and be like, dude, that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah. But anyways.
You can bring it down, bro.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Tangents. We were off tangent.
Yeah. We went way off.
Coffee. Love coffee. Had to do with suppressant,
energy.
Appetite suppressant.
Yeah.
Oh, behavioral patterns, right?
Right.
And this is something that's that I've been actually doing a lot of work with my clients. Is trying to address the root of things, and typically the root of things occurs at work, stress at home, or stress and I provide a very high-end niche service in San Diego in my personal training. Clients pay a very high premium, in my opinion, a premium for my service. And a couple of things that I've noticed working with them is, one, it's not necessarily the accountability people need, right? Like that's when you think about personal trainer, right? You hire a personal trainer because, all right, I have a goal and I need someone to hold me accountable. Right. It could be along the lines of companionship, like someone needing someone to like vent and like just talk about their problems while they kill two birds with one stone, working out, letting stress go. Two, lacking self-confidence, low self-esteem, scared of being around people and just want to be in a private setting.
Going to the gym.
Yeah, going to the gym. And so having low self-confidence and then finishing off with high self-confidence, and feeling that it could take over the world. And then I guess what I was really trying to talk about was, their behaviors. Like, why aren't they sleeping? What's stressing them out? What do they really love to do? I have like 5 people who quit their careers while I was training them. Crazy, bro. Like nurses quitting their jobs to pursue something else they love. Real estate agents, financial advisors, accountants.
Self-actualizing.
Yeah. It's like they've come to this conclusion like, well, I'm developing my body. Now I kind of want to develop myself, and I kind of want to do something that makes me happy. I'm going to be making less money than I did before, but I'm going to be happy. And so
it's going extremely beyond
the physical.
Your scope.
Yeah. It's kind of trippy, dude. It's really kind of trippy, but and I feel like when people study exercise physiology, they kind of need to study the mind. Like we do psychology 101, right? That's more of a general rec. We need to go beyond it. We need to go behavioral psychology, because that's really what it is. Behavioral psychology. When we first did this podcast, one of my ultimate goals was to help control childhood obesity through activity.
I remember. Yeah.
But that's way beyond physical and nutrition. That is 100% behavioral psychology. Like most of these people, whether it's overeating or undereating, right, anorexia or bulimia, they see psychologists, to help them cope with their issues. Seldom do they really see a trainer, and they do see a nutritionist, but it's not about that. It's all about that psychological behavioral aspect. And I think that's really what comes down to cultural, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why did I feel embarrassed for not having enough food in front of me and my dad, knowing very well it's more than enough food for the both of us?
Yeah.
Why did I need to buy more food to feel better about myself so that people don't look at me? And I was like, look, dude, like, why are you struggling, right?
Yeah.
You know, like,
Dad, like I didn't even get his dad a whole meal.
Yeah,
you know? For sure.
And the sad part is, and I hate doing this. I really do, because I don't understand everyone's situation. I don't know how everyone goes through. I don't know how their bodies are functioning, if they're dealing with a disease that's preventing them from wanting to lose weight, or dealing with something that's, you know, preventing them from really getting to their health goals.
Yeah.
But I judge, you know, and I look at people and I'm like, dude, you don't really need to be eating that much food.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be drinking that soda or that thing. And I hate doing it, but it's the health professional in me that's like, I know 100% if you ate half of that and didn't drink that when you start losing weight, you'll feel way much better about yourself, and you will feel way more better about going about things. And like, you will not only improve your self-confidence, but you'll also improve your cognitive thinking, and you might even improve your productivity in work, and you might even improve your personal relationship with sex.
Yeah, I see what you're saying as far as like with psychology, or you just people try to attack the mind first before attacking the body.
Yeah.
And completely disregard what the body needs.
Yeah.
When if you just take care of the body, it's literally a trickle-down effect.
I mean, it's both ways, right? It can happen both ways for sure. But no, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just like...
It just makes sense, though. I went through it. You know, I mean, it's... I feel like when I started dropping from 190 and then seeing like, oh shit, I hit 170. Yeah. I started feeling better about myself. Dude, so I was like, okay, well, now I can start getting into this. Start doing that. Yeah. Start talking this. Yeah. Fucking did a podcast. You know, it's like,
you become more productive. I mean, you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day, and like, you're carpe diem, bro, seizing the day. And it's like, I don't know, man. I'm going far beyond what I really want to like say, because
that's fine.
I'm no expert, but like,
we can speculate.
Yeah. Okay. I really think health is a key component to improving our society. You know, like, I mean, I'm not just talking about on an individual level, but I'm talking about like a cultural level, cultural significance. I'm talking about like, you know, when I was one thing that I'm struggling with right now is people driving very, very slow. You know, I'm like trying to get from A to Z, right? Like because I'm like, I have 5 days to try to help my dad take care of all this stuff, right? I got shit to do, right? And I'm like, dude, like, fucking move, bro.
Welcome to island time.
Yeah, and you know, it's just like, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with it. But I also noticed that when I wake up at 6 a.m., you know, to take my dad to McDonald's, no one's on the road. Barely see anyone. Like, there's no activity. And I'm not saying that it happens in San Diego, but like, what if everyone woke up at 5 a.m. feeling refreshed like you were, boo, and just like started thinking about their day and thinking about what they want to accomplish, not just during that day, but the next day.
Yeah, man.
The day moving forward, and then like having the energy to actually put the time and effort to make it happen, like what you're doing with your podcast. You know, and that has a lot to do with health.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
The energy.
When I first started waking up early, the main purpose was because it was the only time of the day where I had the whole day to myself. Yeah. No one was awake. Yeah. No one was calling me. Yeah. No one was texting me. If I wanted to, and I called it the man hour. Yeah. You know, it's like whatever I wanted to do in this hour. Yeah. It was for me. What is selfish? Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Fucking be selfish.
And dude, and it helped me mentally. Right. It helped me just. And it's kind of realign my day before my day even gets started.
And it's like, and it's being productive, right? And I think there's a difference between, and I find myself doing this like mindless thinking when I'm on Facebook and Instagram, when I'm just like swiping, going through stuff, and like I'm not even comprehending anything that's going on, but I'm just trying to numb my mind. You know, they're just like, dude, there's weeks, bro, when I train like 12 hours a day. Shit. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I love it, dude. I love every moment of it. But I'm a family man. Yeah. And so I'm trying to find balance with like spending time with my 2-year-old son, you know, who's going to be no longer an only child, you know, and then, you know, and my fiance, you know, she's a stay-at-home mom, you know, taking care of all that. And that's the reason why I'm able to work 12 hours is because she stays at home. but I also want to spend time with her.
Yeah.
And so I come home and I'm spending time with my kids, and I want to spend time with my fiance. But in the back of my mind, I'm like also thinking about my work, because my work is what helps me provide for my family to help my fiance stay at home and take care of our son and our soon to be other son. So
two boys? Oh
I got
gosh.
2 boys, bro.
Woo.
I'm gonna get 2 boys.
There you go.
And so I'm so, it's crazy, bro. It's so freaking crazy. I just love how everything's progressing. And but going back to it, it's like the balance, right? Finding that balance, because as much as I want to focus on my business and spend time with my family, I also want to focus on myself, self-development, right? Like I want to, in order for my business to grow, my mind needs to grow.
Yeah.
Right. In order for my mind to grow, my body needs to grow. You know, it's very important to have your man hour. It's very, very important to have time for yourself. And I think when people don't do that, they kind of lose themselves and they fall into this pattern, regardless if they're being very successful in one aspect of their life. They typically sacrifice another aspect of their life.
Yeah.
And it's that balance, that work-life balance, right?
Yeah, man. Speaking of balance, I was just given like the brightest phrase of enlightenment. I asked the same thing. I was like, dude, how do you find balance? I haven't released a podcast yet. It was with Jason J. I was like, how do you find balance in everything?
Yeah.
And he said, I don't find balance. I'm constantly balancing.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Like I'm not looking for that one single balance. It's like, okay, so
yeah.
You know, it's a constant balance, and it's, maybe that sounds the same thing, but it really isn't when you break it down.
No, that's totally different. That's totally different. Like you're not searching for it. You're like you're not looking for it. It's like you're doing things that help you look for it.
Yeah, you know you're in it.
Yeah.
You're present, right?
Yeah.
You're present in the balance rather than looking at the end point.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautifully said.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, bro. And I was just like mind blown. I was like, oh my God.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, it's pretty profound. Yeah, and so that's pretty good. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, dude.
Use that.
Yeah. Fuck, I haven't released an episode, so I'm sad. I said it already.
I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine, bro. Yeah, you'll be fine.
This would drop before that episode's dropped, dude. I'm just like, oh man. But it's just, when it comes to that, when he said it, I was like, holy shit.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's like the answer, right? I mean, that's what self-actualized people would say.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, I understand where I'm at, where my mind is at, where my body is at, and where I need to be.
Yeah.
And I understand that maybe I'm not that Calvin and Hobbes. I don't know if it's a Calvin and Hobbes quote, but it comes with a Calvin and Hobbes picture. It's like, I know I'm not where I want to be, but I know it's where I need to be.
Dude, yes.
Right?
Yes. I feel like
Emerson quote or something.
I'm like, yeah, and yes. I'm a firm believer in affirmation. Like saying things out loud, like that you want and truly feel like you need and want, and like you have, it's every right to be yours.
Yeah.
Like being successful.
Yeah.
You know, like being the best personal trainer in the world. That's that's what I strive for every day. I that's why I'm constantly learning. Yeah.
How often do you reflect?
Every day, dude.
Yeah.
Every freaking day. I reflect every freaking day. As a business owner, I make the mistake of being very emotionally invested into what I do. Right? Because I care for my clients, dude.
Right.
You know, like I care for every single person that I work with.
Right.
And so I think about how to improve and help them.
Right.
You know, every single session. Like, did I make the most of this session with them? Did I accomplish what they did? You know, did I do the right things? Because I'm not 100% perfect, bro. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and if I'm mad, bro, like it's really hard for me to show it. You know, like if I'm like something's on my mind, it's hard for me to hide it.
Oh, there you go.
You know, So it's really hard for me to hide it. And I feel bad, you know, because people pay for my time, and people pay for my time to be like the trainer.
Yeah, they're like, Sean, is everything cool?
Yeah. Yeah.
Should I just keep doing this?
yeah, exactly. And you know, like, and I hate it when it happens. And so I reflect, and I'm like, dude, why did that happen? Yeah. Did I not get enough sleep? Was like something on my mind? Like, how do I distract? How do I turn that off to be able to like be 100% involved with what I need to be with who I need to be with? And I realized I gotta throw my fucking phone away. One, like one.
But it's important. It's an important aspect to what we do.
It is. It's 100% important. But it also and I think it comes back to being present in the moment, right? Like being present in the moment. Like when I don't like to take my phone out, but I have to have it out, right? Like I don't know if my fiance is gonna, have like some type of pregnancy problem. So that's always in the back of my head. Like, does she need me? I'm always thinking. 2, maybe someone like a high-end client needs me right away, right? Like recently I've been working with this anyways, I won't even go there, but anyways, he's a baller, right? He's a baller. He's a freaking baller. Stupid baller. It's just stupid.
He's a good baller.
Just stupid. No, so much money, man. Just some people that just have so much freaking money. It's like, dude, what the hell? Yeah. But sometimes I cater, I think about what's going on and I shouldn't. I need to be more involved in the moment. Like when I'm talking with you, I need to be 100% focused on what this, because you're devoting your time to be with me. Yeah. And therefore, I'm devoting my time to be with you. And
for sure. But on the other side, I understand that.
But it's being professional. Yeah. You're being a professional. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So anyways. I just reflect on that part, and then I reflect on can I become a better trainer? What can I do to become a better businessman? What can I do to become a better husband, better father, and so yeah, every day.
How often?
What do you
mean? Once, twice a day. How long?
So what I've been doing, so what I try to do every day is, one, I try to start my day off by outlining my to-dos, right? Like my schedule. I look at my schedule, think about what am I doing, what's my programming with certain clients, what I need to do, what can I do to fill the gaps in my schedule. And then I try to finish the day off with assessing everything, seeing what's going on. So what did I do right? And more importantly, I try to finish off every night with gratitude. Being very thankful for the mistakes I've made, because I can learn. More importantly, being thankful for the people I'm working with to be able to live the way I'm doing. And then 3, being very thankful to be living and having a family, stuff like that. I try to start the day off like that and finish it off with that every day. Yeah. Every day with everything, whether so yeah.
Powerful, bro.
Yeah, so I use what's called a passion planner. Have you heard of them?
No.
So it's a planner. It's like a planner. It's a planner where you basically write down, you write down what your agenda is, and you start out with your goal. You start out with the first page of your goal. What do you want to do? What's your main goal? What's your main goal, right? What do you want to be? The best engineer? Do you want to be the best podcaster?
Do you have a difficult time being honest with yourself?
What do you mean?
As far as what you want to do, passionate and stuff like that?
No, I know what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I know the direction I'm in is exactly what I want to be in. I know, and I know this because I'm accomplishing goals that I've set 10 years ago, dude. Okay. I'm accomplishing goals I've set 10 years ago, and I think the issue that I do have with all of it is am I going to be able to accomplish what I really want to do? And what I really want to do is, going back to childhood obesity, is actually making an impact. I have all this data, I have all this information, I'm doing all this cool stuff, but would this eventually lead to a change? That's the hardest question to answer, because only time can tell. And 2, it's more than just exercise and nutrition, right? We've just addressed it's a psychological thing, it's an emotional thing, right? Mental thing, and there's only so much one person can do.
Yeah, how many people do you got to bring in?
Yeah, right. To make that impact. And so I think about this all the time.
I know a few people for you, man. Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah. Who are deep in. I brought up Rose. She's deep in the nutritional value of Pacific Islanders.
That's pretty crazy. Rose Calvo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
So can link you up with her if you're looking for more data in that sense.
So it's, absolutely 100% hook me up with her, because what I realized is, and this is the reason why I haven't come back to Guam yet. One of the biggest reasons is because, one, I haven't learned enough yet to make an impact here on Guam. And the reason why I say I haven't made enough to make an impact on Guam is because I haven't made a large enough impact in San Diego. And if I can make it,
but you're small fish in a big pond, right?
Yeah, but I want to be a big fish in a small pond. Okay. That's the goal, right? And it has more to do with experience, right? And just learning, constant learning. And that's the problem. There's just too much to be learned. You can't learn it all in 1 year. You can't learn it all in 2 years. You can't learn it all in 3 years. Like, I'm about to pursue my master's degree in exercise physiology with my ultimate goal to become, to get a PhD in exercise physiology. And so this is my next approach. With personal training, I've been able to make a direct impact on individuals, right? Changing lives, right? Like doing this with nutrition, exercise. I've been very successful. But when I think about what I really want to do, it doesn't compare to the 165,000 people I want to make a true impact on, let alone 1 million people in, in Micronesia, Polynesia, Pacific Islands, right? Like the world.
Right.
And so I realized, I was like, okay, how can I really make a big impact? And it's like education. Like if I'm able to educate the future exercise physiologists of Guam, Micronesia, the Pacific, California, then I can actually make a bigger impact on more people, because they'll be helping more people. See what I mean? And that comes from education, teaching at the university level. And this is now my new, and then this is why I got into research, because I'm now like trying to formulate my thesis, trying to formulate my research studies. And this is kind of what you need when you go to master's school, right? Like a PhD. This is what I want to specialize in. How do we help people through exercise and nutrition and health? How do we make an impact? That's and how do we do it through my passion, which is paddling. It's not just outrigger, but it's stand-up, dragon boat, surfing too, stand-up paddling, surfing, kayaking, canoeing, anything that has to do with a paddle, a vessel, and being on water.
Yeah.
And I'm a firm believer, bro. It's changed my life. It's gotten to me where I am. I mean, like, dude, I remember in high school, do you remember our yearbook? We have the same freaking quote about what we want to do. And that's because I guess I didn't write something in, and they just used your quote and put it in mine. I want to become an engineer. And I was like, dude, and I was perfectly fine with it, because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I got involved with paddling, and then paddling, like, just changed my entire perspective of what I wanted to do. And it wasn't from a professional standpoint. It was more from like, well, I like exercise and I like being on water. Paddling is great. It started from there, and then the opportunity to become an Olympian started to creep up, and I got to travel the world. I got to see I was in Brazil, Argentina. I was living in Australia. I was training in Romania. I went to China. I went to, where the hell did I go, man? I went all over Micronesia. I went to way more places than I think, all over the U.S. When we were in high school, no one's ever heard of that. No one's ever traveling, being
Couldn't
a paddler.
even fathom being.
No.
Yeah.
And that's what it did. And what's crazy? When in 2008 at the Olympics, right? The epitome of being an athlete. What was on my mind? Was, this is not what I want to be. I need to help people through health. That's why I moved to San Diego, to get a degree in exercise, kinesiology, to get a degree in physical therapy, but decided not to pursue physical therapy. But I'm still accomplishing the goals that I set when I moved here. I've opened up my own facility. I'm doing research. I'm helping people directly. I'm doing all these things health related and paddling related.
Yeah. Just the fact that you got into the research aspect of it is huge.
Yeah, it's super huge.
Huge. You're not just a business owner or a personal trainer now.
I'm a researcher.
You're a researcher, bro.
With
data points.
We plan after, so once we get the data here, the entire goal is to have this published in a journal. And I'm going to be the lead principal on this paper, because I formulated the hypothesis, I formulated the study. It's using at my facility. I'm researching all the data points. I'm coming up with all the information. I'm writing it down. This is me, bro. Yeah. I'm getting the support and help from Cal State San Marcos, but this is all from all my experiences and everything that I want to do. And this is just a stepping stone to.
It's almost like everything is culminating to this moment.
Yeah, it is. And then I guess as far as I question myself, I know it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not going to be enough to make the impact that I want to make. Not on our island. It's not. Before it used to be Guam. Now it's the world, really, dude. I have this some crazy newfound desire and passion to really promote paddling, because aside from the physical aspect, aside from the environmental aspect, and aside from it being my passion, there's a lot of literature on the benefits of being on, in, or around water. You know what I mean? It's just this positive vibe that occurs, and a neuroscientist has actually proven it. So it's not just about, right? It's not just about the body. Now it's about the mind. It's about the neurons. It's about every aspect of it. And I'm a firm believer when we start to really appreciate that, we start to appreciate our environment. And when we start to appreciate our environment, we start to take care of it even more. So now it becomes this even bigger thing. And so now it's like this real grand escape I have. It's like, it's not just about the body. It's not about a culture. It's not about a mind, but it's about a world. And it's about this whole synergistic thing to make a big impact.
You're onto something, bro.
So that's why I'm like, that's the reason why I haven't moved back to Guam. It's because there's a lot more to be done, and there's a lot more to be learned.
You gave me chills, bro.
Dude.
I mean, I can feel the passion and the drive that you have into what you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And the fact that it hasn't disappeared from you for after all these years, is amazing in itself.
So yeah, man, I appreciate that. And so, I mean, there's still a lot more work to be done, but I mean, the good news is that like it's on its we're like making the steps needed to go the direction. And so I'm very proud, I'm very proud of everything that's going on. And I definitely have to admit that it would not have happened without my significant other, Emma Muramoto. And so, but yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, it's like, and I guess we're self-reflecting. It's like, yeah, what do I really want to do every day? Do I really want to do that? No, I want to do more. Yeah.
Sean, I think you said it all, bro.
Yeah.
I think, right. and honestly, I can see the progression just from our first conversation on the podcast, bro. It's just, it's absolutely insane, dude. And yeah, you want any last words before we cut out here?
Bro, just thank you, Boo. Thank you, man, for connecting everything related to our people, the island. Like I know when you first started this, it was about that. It was just about bringing everything together into this one platform. And I think you've done an amazing job and are doing an amazing job. And I just want to thank you because you are, dude. You're connecting everything. I mean,
thank you, bro. Thank you.
Like I'm coming across people that I've never heard of, and I'm like seeing this like movement that's growing on Guam, and I think people are connecting to it. And I just keep it up, man. I'm loving it, bro. I mean, like you've progressed so much too, and I'm looking forward to what you got to come. Thanks, man. I think Guam's changing. Guam's changing for the better, and parts of me want to move off island, but really most of me wants to stay here and see it through, and see what happens. And with the podcast and stuff, I never thought it'd come to this point, where I'm talking to multitudes of people, different kinds of people who are doing different kinds of things here and not on here, but still with here in the back of their minds. And it's fucking amazing, dude. And I look forward to seeing what further research you get yourself into, and what further people you link yourself with, as far as to expand your research and your studies. And shit, Dr. Sean, right? Yeah, dude. I know, laugh now, right?
No, dude. I mean, that was a laugh as in, fuck, I believe in you.
Yeah, thanks, bro. No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I'm laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, that'd be crazy, man.
But it's just cool because I can just the way you speak about it.
Yeah.
You're so knowledgeable about the things that you've researched and the things that you've done. And like I said, data, man, it's the most important thing to anything that we do.
Yeah.
If you don't have data, you don't have really anything to back yourself up off of why people should be supporting you in some way, paying you in some way, or just kind of believing in you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anything you want to put out there? How people follow you? How can people track what you're doing while you're out there?
If you want to follow me on Instagram, Sean P the Trainer. Very active on that. Aside from that, just follow Sean P the Trainer. I mean, there'll be more information going on. I really like to thank my fiance, Emma Muramoto. Thank you for manning the fort in San Diego with our little one and our soon-to-be one coming through. I know it's a lot for you, especially now that she's going to be doing like 2 months. So, and without you, obviously, I definitely would not be.
Hey, B's right behind you.
Hi.
B's not too far right behind you. He's working on his number 1.
Oh yeah? Nice, man. Congratulations, brother. Congrats. It's a life changer for sure. I think that's another one too, bro. Having a kid, it definitely puts things in mind, like perspective. Yeah. So I guess
I was just telling B, I was like, man, I've seen you change a lot in this last like 7 months, dude. And it's positive change, right?
Yeah.
Because
it's super. You like you grow from like a boy to a man instantly. Like you put like, fuck, well, I gotta take care of this little thing, and I want to make sure that this little thing is gonna be way better than I was ever. And so how do I become better? Well, I gotta be better than my parents, or do more than they did, so I can give more to my kid, and kind of thing. And so I think when Kanoa was born, shit kind of really changed, dude. Like drive was
because you were about a year into Fit Lab already, right?
Yeah. Yes, I was. Yeah, I was a year into Fit Lab, exactly. And so, and I hit the lowest point, right? That first year was my lowest point. And I guess I was like, well, if I'm gonna try to make something happen with this and raise a family, I better change my ways. And so, yeah, so things really changed since Kanoa's been born. Yeah.
Damn it, we didn't get into it.
Oh, this is yeah. Yeah.
A lot more for conversation, dude. Yeah. I hope maybe when I'm back out there, we can link up again. Maybe you can put me through one of your.
Dude, yeah, you got to check, bro. Okay. Yeah, I know you asked me about it at one point, and so if you try it out, you might have to buy one. You may or may not. I mean, paddling on the water is way better than it's a lot easier paddling here than it is like in San Diego.
I'm running out of real estate in here, so.
So is that your paddleboard out there?
Yeah. I bought it from a friend. Yeah, dude, I love it. It's bad season right now, so it's to go out there. So it's been sitting.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Thank you, Sean P on the podcast.
Dude,
check him out. The Fit Lab. If you're in San Diego in the area. Yeah, dude. Where can people check you out?
Yeah, thefitlabsd.com on the website. Hit me up at Sean P the Trainer .com or at Sean P the Trainer on Instagram. If you prefer email, it's Sean at thefitlabsd.com, or hit me up at 858-800-2348.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. And he's proven, tried and true. And now he's a researcher.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. Progression. Progression.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast. Once again, Sean P, the trainer, longtime friend, and look forward to calling him doctor one day. So thank you for listening, and as always, I love you. B loves you. Maddie in spirit, and peace out.